Hi there, dance studio owners, and welcome to a very special midweek edition of the Transform My Dance Studio podcast. In today's exclusive training clip, Clint will be sharing with you his secret sauce to enrolling record numbers of students into your classes all year round with his no gaps enrollment process. While you enjoy this podcast, make sure to download our free 11-step enrollment checklist to plug into your own studio right away. Grab your free copy at dsoa.com/checklist-2020. That's dsoa.com/checklist-2020. Now, on to today's special episode.
I want to talk about money. Yeah. Because I don't think we've talked enough about it. And we have not specifically talked enough about revenue streams or your pricing structure. Yesterday, I gave you some tools around understanding the numbers, the sales, your cost of goods sold coming in, your expenses, your profitability. I gave you that structure, but now we need to kind of dive a little bit deeper. Do we want to dive deeper? Yes. Awesome. Let's get started. Increasing your profitability. Don't critique the photo. I know you're like sitting there, you're like, oh, it's We're going to be talking about your pricing. Who started their dance studio and based their pricing off this formula? Well, they're charging this over there, and they're like really high. They're charging the top price. And this studio over there, they're charging the lowest price. So I'm just going to charge something in the middle. Did anyone use that pricing model? Yeah, I did when I started my studio. I thought it was a great idea. I was like, well, hey, I'm not going to be the most expensive, and I don't want to be the cheapest, but hey, if I'm in the middle, that's pretty good. No, the worst possible way you could come up with your pricing. But we all do it. We've all been there. I've been there. So I want to walk through a couple of different pricing models that exist in a studio. There are predominantly two. How many? Two. There's the flat fee structure. Now, the flat fee structure can look a little different. And I'm going to walk you through multiple versions of this because either you have flat fee structure or you might want to introduce a flat fee structure into your studio. So let's have a look at the first one. The first one is based on a class that goes for a certain period of time. So in this example, and by the way, the dollars that I have here are not reflective of what you should be charging. People go, well, I don't charge that much and I should be charging more. No, it doesn't matter, right? I'm just giving you the example, but don't look at the money. Don't look at the money piece. Just look at the formation piece. So 30 minutes, $12. 45-minute class, $15. An hour class, $17. An hour and a half class, $20. Who does their pricing model like this at the moment? Okay, quite a few of you. So this is a flat fee structure. What that means is that every class has a price attached to it, no matter if they do one class or 10 classes, right? It's flat fee. Different to what I'll talk about in a second, tiered structure. Okay, they're the two structures. So let's look at a different flat fee structure where they're charging one price for their fun or recreational students, and they're charging a different price for their competitive stream. Here's the thing. A lot of you charge the same price for the same classes. And I want you thinking about, and because you've done your P&L and you've segmented your revenue streams from the work that we did yesterday, you may find that your competitive classes are costing you more money. Why would a competitive class or a competition class cost you more money? All of those things that you just said that I couldn't hear. Teachers probably cost more. You might be bringing in guest teachers, choreographers, the time for you traveling and your team traveling to competitions. Maybe the costumes are more expensive. Maybe you're absorbing some of those costs. I don't know how you're running your studio. But the thing is that if your teachers and your expenses are higher, they should be charged more money for their classes. They're getting a premium service. Remember yesterday when I talked about the group fitness, the gym model, the big group fitness classes, the smaller classes, then the one-on-one training? It's the same when you go to a hairdresser and you get the junior stylist and the senior stylist. Does that make sense? It's so strange to me when people go, but Clint, I need to keep the same pricing. And I was like, no, this is like a bad idea. Yeah, you definitely need to look at your expenses for your competitive and your company streams because you might need your own pricing model for them. And as consumers, we understand that. It's just a re-education process for your parents. So this is the other way to do flat fee. The additional way you can do flat fee is per hour. So we removed the class piece and it's just the hours you dance at our studio. So if you're dancing an hour a week at our studio, that could be 2 30-minute classes. If you're dancing an hour and a half at our studio, that could be a 30-minute class and an hour class. So it is just based on hours, time, not classes. They're the 3 ways you can do a flat fee structure. Let's move on to tiered. Who has a tiered pricing model where as they do more classes, it gets cheaper? Great. Right, cool. This also can work, but it can also make you broke. It can, because we get to the point. I worked with a guy in Australia 5 years ago. It's when I was doing the one-on-one. So that was about 6 years ago now. And he said he had about 70% of his students on his unlimited plan. Right. You can imagine we had a great conversation. He's like, I'm not making any money. I have 400 students. I'm not making any money. I was like, there's a problem. And the problem was when I looked at his fee schedule, he had unlimited, and his unlimited actually worked out that the students were paying about $2.50 a class. Yeah. So he was sad for only a little while until we fixed it. But that was a 3-year transition to get everyone on the right fee structure. We kept unlimited, but we bumped up the price. We removed unlimited the second year, and the third year he had a pretty good pricing model in place. But it takes time. So I like tiered. I like tiered without unlimited, firstly, really, really important. And I like tiered where you actually know the expense that it is costing you to run a class, because it can get really complicated when you put this model in place. 2 classes, oh, you get $2 off. Oh, 3 classes, you get $4 off. And you just keep losing money, guys. More discount. But you're like, but Clint, I want them doing more classes. And I was like, yeah, but just deliver the value and charge them what the class is worth. Then you don't have to discount, right? You can still have tiered. I'm not against this model. I love this model when it supports your expenses. So it could look like this. High Kick Dance Studio. Anyone own that dance studio in here? High Kick Dance Studio. Although these are not high kicks, obviously, on the screen. 1 class 16, 2 classes 30. And you can, again, price does not matter. You can see the discount as it goes down. You need to be aware of the discount that you are offering in a tiered structure. Super important. My thoughts on discounting. I don't like it. Basically. Yes. Woo! I don't like it, but when it comes to tiered structure, it can work really, really well. It can work extremely well, but only if you know your numbers. Please know your expenses before you put a tiered structure in place. That's all I'm saying. You might want to go back and just have a look at how that pricing model is working for you. Multiple class discount. This might happen in your tiered structure is okay, but I generally don't like giving people a discount for doing more classes. I'm like, if you're coming for us, I'm delivering you the same service, whether you do 1 class or 5 classes. My teacher isn't $2 worse than the first class that you're doing, right? And so as we move through this, another thing that I see is early bird. Pay within the first 2 weeks of the month and you get a discount. No, you get a late fee if you don't pay within the first 2 weeks of the month. The only time I want you to offer a discount to any of your customers on their payment, aside from a pricing model, on their payment is if they pay you for the entire year up front. If they pay their annual fee up front, I'm happy for you to give a discount. What is the amount? I don't know. Depends on your expenses. It could be 5%, it could be as much as 10%. But we like getting in that money up front, especially if it's during re-enrollment time, which is April, May, typically for the next season in September when you're doing your re-enrollment process. It's nice to have that money in the bank then for summer as well. Only give a discount on payments when it is upfront for the year. No other discount there. Oh, family discounts. Bring your 8 children. And the last 2 are free for the next 10 years. I get this one. I really, really do. We had amazing families that supported us, that, you know, their mother had another child, and then when the child was 2.5, they came to us, and so we had sisters dancing together. I love that. I love being able to offer that. But my strong belief is that you are again delivering the same value. You are putting the same time and energy into this student, into their training, into their experience. And so I am not a fan of the sibling discount. I like people paying for the service that you're delivering. And I also don't think it's fair to your other customers. I'm an only child. I didn't get the sibling discount, you know, just because my mum didn't have another baby. And so I want you to think about this. Who has some kind of sibling or family discount at the moment? Okay, quite a few of you. And again, please don't go home to your studio tonight and send an email saying, hey, siblings, you're out of here. Full price for all siblings. That's the new promotion that we're running this month. This is a slow and steady transition. So as we go through this, you might want to pick like one thing a year that you want to implement. You might get rid of the sibling discount, or you might get rid of the pay early, although you're really paying late, but I'm still giving you money off discount. So you want to do this slow and steady. Anything that you hear over our 3 days together, most of it will be a transition. I don't want you to get overly excited and like shoot the gun and then all these things have changed and your customers are like, what happened to you? That's not the aim. But these things are kind of progressive. I want you to do an exercise. You can do it tonight. You can do it over the next couple of days. But if you are giving any discounts in your business, if you have a tiered structure, which again, I'm okay with if it works for your business, if you're doing pay on time discounts, if you're doing sibling discounts, if you're doing come twice a week, get a discount, if you're doing breathe in the studio, get a discount, if you're doing any of these discounts, I want you to add them all up. How much money are you giving away? Because by the way, you are giving the money away. How much money are you giving away every single year?
We hope you enjoyed this week's enrollment special. Don't forget to download your free 11-step enrollment checklist at dsoa.com/checklist-2020 today.